guys, come on in. Welcome to my channel. My name is Wisdom. It's nice to meet you all. I got some music in the background going, and that's just to help my nerves, keep things low-key. I do not own the rights to this music, so please don't come for me. It's just in the background. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I wanted to come on here just to follow up to a post that I did on social media. And it was some pictures that I took of myself, and I was just very pleased with how I looked. But it caused me to reflect. You know, I was smiling and glowing, but you would never guess that I didn't used to like myself. You know, it was very hard, and it wasn't too long ago. You know, I didn't think I was pretty. I didn't think I was lovable. I thought that love was something that you had to earn and chase. You know, by being useful, by being needed, showing up when they wanted you to show up, when they needed you, no questions asked. And that belief just didn't come out of nowhere. You know, that belief was shaped, and it was shaped by childhood. It was shaped by family dynamics, toxic relationships that mirrored the dysfunction that I was already used to. It was trauma. Let's be clear, it was trauma. I was praised when others were pleased and happy. You know, rejected when I expressed too much, got too deep, or was just being myself. The message became very clear, you know, over and over. You're good when you're quiet. You're lovable when you're easy. Tone it down. Don't make it hard for people to like you. So basically I needed to perform. You know, I learned to suppress my needs. I learned that love only came when I twisted myself up into a version that made other people comfortable. And it worked for a while. You know, I got attention, but I never got to be seen, you know, truly seen. I got accepted, but never fully felt safe. Because performing love and receiving it were just not the same thing. It wasn't until my spiritual awakening, and I know everybody's talking about that, but for me, it was real life. You know, until I got quiet and started doing what we call shadow work, or that inner healing work, that reflection work. That's when I started to ask some really hard questions in the mirror. You know, what did I believe about myself because of how I was treated? Who taught me that I had to be palatable to be worthy? You know, why did I think that love had to be earned, struggled for, even chased? And when I answered those questions honestly, looking at myself in the face, I cried. It was deep. It was emotional. It was deep because it's inner work. I cried for the version of me that didn't know that she was enough. I cried for the girl inside who thought love was a reward, not a birthright. Ain't that something? I realized that the way I loved others came from pain. I was given my wounds, not my overflow. I was attracting people who reflected my shadows, not my wholeness. That's a whole nother topic too, and I got stories about that. But listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I am not a professional here to change your life. No, I'm only just speaking from experience, from spiritual truth, from my own healing journey that I'm going through, still going through every day. But what I can say for certainty is that healing starts when you stop begging to be chosen and you start choosing yourself. A lot of people think that self-love is like this vibe, you know, cute quotes, soft music, bubble baths, shopping sprees, affirmations. And those things do help, don't get me wrong. You know, I love them myself. But real self-love, it's about boundary setting. It's about grieving old versions of yourself. It's about unlearning the toxic beliefs your own family may still carry. It's sitting down with your pain without letting it define you. It's releasing those relationships you prayed would finally love you back. You heard that. Those relationships that you prayed for to love you back. It's saying, I don't need to prove my worth anymore. I don't need to feel validated. I just needed to remember it. Remember your worth. Because your worth was never missing. It was never broken. It was never up for debate. It was just buried within, under layers and layers of just shame, performance, survival. But right now, it's time to rise. It's time to get from underneath that. I believe self-love is energetic. It's not something that you do. It's something that you become. If you start moving different, speaking different, having a different attitude, you attract different. You start, loving more of what was hidden. You stop begging, stop shrinking, stop explaining, and you just start radiating. You radiate what you want. You, that woman. You, that man. You're that person. You stop people pleasing. You start pleasing the person that you look at in the mirror. And that's what's important. The people that used to feed off of you, the ones that needed you, the ones that fed off of your energy, fed off your insecurities, they'll fall away real quick like water once you stop becoming so available. The ones who used to guilt you for having needs, the ones that used to guilt you for having certain interests that they just couldn't connect to, they won't know how to handle your wholeness. And that's okay. It really is. Because you didn't come here to be tolerated. You came here to be honored. And when you align with that type of energy, that love, that peace, that abundance that we all try so hard to find, it finds you. It truly finds you. Without the chase, without the performance, without the masking, because you become that frequency. So if you're in that place right now, still figuring out who you are outside of what you were taught to be, I see you. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too late. You're not on nobody's time scale. You are sacred. You are powerful. And you are worthy. You were always worthy. Even before you believed it, you were worthy. You are worthy. If this spoke to your spirit, please, I invite you to stay connected with me. This is a journey. We're in this together. Please subscribe, comment, or just sit with this message. You don't have to rush your healing. Don't let this truth pass you by though. You are not healing to become someone's new. You're healing to return to the version of you, the woman, the man, the person that you were always meant to be. And that person, we not chasing love. We are love. Wisdom speaks, y'all.